Welcome back, wooers.
Wooed up,
Wooed up.
wooed up.
We are back for season 2.
Season 2, gang, gang.
And this is Kayla,
And that's Tiffany, and we'll be your hosts for this incredible season.
where we talk about spirituality and bringing it down to reality.
I know that's right, honey. And who are we sponsored by this season?
We're sponsored by House of Rhythm. Ooh. These beautiful mics come from them. We sound so lovely.
Crispy. We're super excited to be sponsored by House of Rhythm this season. They're an incredible yoga studio and wellness space in San Antonio. Tiff has had the luxury of offering there. I've had the luxury of offering there. They are a wonderful, incredible space.
And attending there. And I know that we're all looking for a healing space where everyone feels welcome. You show up however you are, whatever stage you're in, and that is definitely a space for that.
Hell yeah. That's why I'm super excited to be sponsored by House of Rhythm. We're definitely going to be talking about all of the magic that happens there in that space. So while you guys watch this season and you're wondering how and why we sound so good, just know it's courtesy of them.
We hope you enjoy this season. Thank you for coming back, and thank you for being here.
We'll see y'all soon. Boop, boop. I'm super excited to talk about this, actually.
Are you?
I am.
Good. That's the vibe, honey.
Yeah, I am. This is literally like the foundation for, I think, my journey, my personal journey.
All that we are.
Yeah.
All that we show up as.
Yeah. It's been one of the tools that I've been utilizing that's really created so much change and structure. It's created a lot of structure for me in figuring out the path.
What is this tool?
We're talking about your highest self, honey.
Highest her or him or they.
They, them, she, he, we.
How did you find out about highest self or that like term, and what does it like mean to you?
Yeah, great question. I think it was actually through TikTok. I think I was like on my self-discovery journey. And honestly, T, I think that this was right around the time that you and I met. So it wasn't very long ago that I was scrolling on TikTok. I was like feeling just like kind of blah, not feeling very fulfilled in my work life. I mean, I was content, but wasn't happy. I had achieved some of the things that I wanted to accomplish, and I had a good, steady job. But mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, I didn't feel like I wasn't there. I wasn't where I knew I could be. So, TikTok and that, well, you're not on TikTok. Well, one thing about TikTok.
Tiki-tacky for me.
Yeah, Tiki-Taki's algorithm is A1. It's going to show you exactly what it is that you want to see. So if you want to get to know somebody and they have TikTok, ask them to see their For You page, because that'll tell you everything that you need to know. So one day I'm scrolling and I start seeing stuff about highest self coming up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this highest self? And so I learned that your highest self is the version of I hate when people say your best self, right? Because that almost indicates that.
I love this ring. Sorry.
Thank you so much.
It's purple.
Thank you.
Right? Wow.
I think every version of who we are and who we evolve to be serves a purpose. There's a reason. We learn from it, right? But ultimately, there is not an end goal, but there's a place that we want to go. There's a person that we want to become. There is this version within us that we're like, man, we see qualities in other people that we admire, respect, or appreciate, and think, man, I wish I had those qualities. Or I wish I could show up in the world like this person. Well, that is an attractive trait to you that you resonate with, and something that you innately, because you resonate with it, you hold within you, and that just needs to be expressed, right? It's just something that's just waiting for you to express it. And so when I was learning about your highest self, it's like, okay, well, who is this version at my best, at my highest? Who is this woman? How does she show up in the world? What does she wear? How does she speak? What is the work that she does? How does she maneuver through life? How does she hold herself accountable? What are her goals? What are her dreams? And having this thought without thinking about any of the limiting beliefs that get into your way, right? So it's thinking, okay, well, my highest self, if I'm just painting a picture, she is a bad bitch, just all legs. She's got money, honey, and she's just frolicking the world in her power, doing the work that it is that she felt called here to do. And she's grounded in her energy and grounded in her purpose, and her boundaries are nice and firm, and she loves hard, but she does so from a place of knowing her worth and not from a place of lack. Just a wonderful, beautiful creature is this person that I envisioned. And after I sat with that idea of like, who is this woman? And I sit in my current reality and think about, okay, where am I right now? And what is the gap between me now or then and that version of self that I would love to be? And then I just started creating things, lists. What would I need to have? What would I need to do in order to get there? How would I need to show up? What are some actionables that I need to take in order to get to be that version? And slowly, steadily, one step at a time, I started making those choices, moving in that direction. Okay, is this aligning me closer, further away from that version of self? And here we are almost 2 years later, and I am the closest that I have ever been to that version of self. And it's funny because that highest self, that idea continues to grow and expand as I do, right? So it's never really like an end all be all. I find the highest self to be what's most aligned to what it is that you're truly searching for within self, and what 3D reality that supports that version of self too, right? And so what are the things that you're wanting to feel? Safety, freedom. How are you wanting to be perceived? How do you want to show up in the world? How do you want to dress? Things that you want to say. And there is a whole long laundry list of things that you have to do in order to get there. Yeah.
Wait, when you first started talking though, you were like, I don't like when people say best version of self. Can you explain that?
Yes. I think that when we talk about our best self, it's kind of similar to that notion of like positive and negative, right? The air quotes that are around that. And that, I think when people think about their best self, it innately says, well, then what does that say about the you that you currently are, the version that you are currently right now? You know, you're not your worst self. You're not worth less now than you will be worth when you get to your highest self, right? You're just more aligned. So it's not to throw salt or poop on the version of you that you already are. It's not like, look in the mirror, you piece of shit. Like you want to be better because you're terrible and it's perspective.
Yeah. It's,
you know?
Yeah. So if you're on the healing journey, one would assume that you are always operating in your best version of yourself with the knowledge and tools that you have.
Right.
Which is different than like the highest self that you are trying to embody and become. But what's to say, like as we sit here today, how do you know, like we can say you are your best self today, right? Like you're your best self, but how do you know that you're not like your highest self? Like where is that threshold or that discrepancy for you? Like what do you sit here today?
Yeah.
And if you try to embody her, like where do you see that?
Great question. I think that the more that you peel back the layers, the onions, and do shadow work, the more that you take away from false belief systems and show up with more authenticity that it is of your truest essence, the more that you are aligned to your highest self. So I can say that there are still a lot of shadows and a lot of wounds that I still carry and that I still hold, that I'm still actively working towards healing. And I know that as I continue to get closer to my highest self, more of those wounds will have been healed and cleared along the way. So when I think about where I am right now in relation to who I was then at that time, it's not just because I'm 80 pounds lighter. It's not because my skin is clearer. It's not because, I'm fully, surviving in my purpose work. Those are all, what's the word I'm looking for?
External?
Not external, but those are all
Steps?
results of internal work, shadow work, and healing. What has made me closer to my highest self now is because a lot of the other wounds that I was carrying when I was that version of myself who first heard about highest self theory, she was so wounded and she did not recognize that she had the ability to change her life. She did not realize that she was literally in control of the reality that she was sitting in. She didn't have the love for self to be able to hold herself accountable for doing the work, you know? So as I sit here on this couch, I can say I'm much closer to my highest self because I've done a lot of that internal work. I'm not there 100% yet, and I don't think we ever will be, but we'll continue to get closer. And as we continue to get closer, our 3D reality and the way that we show up in the world physically and through action, that will also change too. So that's why it's like, okay, well, you want to change your life, you have to change who you are first. And if you focus on changing who you are inside or getting closer to your truest self, your external reality has no other choice but to change.
Right. And I think that's like this notion of manifesting where you want something in your life, whether it is an external factor or your highest self. You want to become her. It is literally getting rid of and shedding anything that is not yours to hold, whether it's the limiting beliefs or the belief that you are not worthy of being that or holding space for whatever it is that you're looking for. So yeah, I think that it's all the same work. And I think even like astrology, like we talked about in the last episode, is the same thing of like, what are you holding on to that is not yours to hold on to? Why are you holding on to that, the belief or the thing? And what do you need to release that to become your most authentic version, the person that you were actually meant to come here and be? And I do believe that is the highest self, the essence that we tap into. I am curious for you and your highest self. Do you have like we know it's an essence and a feeling,
Right.
but do you have like, it kind of sounded like you have external things that need to be present for you to be in your highest self, like certain money and things like that.
Yeah, that's because I know that in order for me to achieve the goals that it is that I feel like I'm feeling called to have, it's because there are certain qualities within myself that need to be addressed and flipped. And if I flip and address those things, then I will in turn have those other external things. So as I was saying earlier, those external things are just byproducts of the work that you do internally. And so if I'm doing all this work internally, there's no way that I'm going to allow myself to be broke, and existing in survival mode or this level of suffering. It's like, no, if I've done the internal work, then I better have some freaking money to show for it, because I know that abundance is a part of everyone's highest self. That abundance is truly, it's within, right? So if we're able to seek that true, unbiased abundance within self, then that should also manifest in your 3D reality as well. Yeah. And so I know that there are things that I will have simultaneously. It's what will I have and who will I be?
Yeah.
Or maybe first, who will I be? And in turn, what will I have?
Interesting. I remember we've talked about this a lot, and I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast yet, but this notion of this golden glowing goddess.
My girl.
Yeah. Is that your highest self?
Yeah.
And did you have her through, how did you establish her is what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah. Great question. So my highest self equals my golden glowing goddess. When she came to me, it was through a meditation with Helene. It was an incredible meditation, and she was asking me to really come into myself and really connect into myself and see who was there. At that time, I didn't have any knowledge about your highest self or who. I thought that she was a guide for me, which your highest self, and is essentially
your North Star and your guide. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. That's the direction in which you're moving towards when it comes to this work, whether that be through just your self-growth perspective or through spirituality, right? Some people consider your highest self to be an additional essence that is connected to yourself from other realities, whether that be through different dimensions or whether that be through different planetary aspects. But I thought that the golden glowing goddess was a guide for me until I realized, and now as we're sitting here having this conversation, that she was me, but I didn't realize that she was me. Like, how do I say this? So you know how Beyonce has like Sasha Fierce? That's her alter ego, right?
Yes.
And that's like the energy that she steps into. But that's her. That's her. That's her highest self. That's part of her, right? That's an essence and an energy. And so I knew that the golden glowing goddess was an essence and a part of me, but I've come to realize now that she is me embodied. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So when you first saw golden glowing goddess, like
visually,
yes, versus when you see your highest self now, you still call her golden glowing goddess.
Yeah, that's my girl.
Okay. Has she morphed or changed from those time stamps?
So whenever I originally saw her through meditation, there was no sort of like facial features. There was nothing I could tell to visually to know that was me or that she was me. It was just an energy, an essence that is within myself that felt like home. And so when I see my highest self, I don't see my highest self as her. I see my highest self as my current physical representation with that essence embodied fully and just radiating out.
She's become you.
We have like morphed and merged together, and she is my inside essence because she is within me, but there are certain evolutions that I've had to find within self that has allowed me to continue to get closer and closer to her. So when I think about my future self, whom I'm hoping will be closer and closer to her, it is that level of essence that's radiating inside externally.
Do you feel like that's your soul, or do you know? Or?
Yeah, it gives that kind of energy. In yoga, we call there's different layers of your energetic body, and at the core of you is the Atman, your capital S self, right? That is who you are. That is the truth of who you are, your essence, the very essence of who you are before you are birthed out into this world, and before the stars have anything to do to it, it's like attached to you externally, before nature versus nurture has anything to do with you. It's like, who are you at your very essence? And that is what I consider to be true, like your truth, right? And so the golden glowing goddess, she feels like my essence and my truth. She is power. She is truly feminine. She is honest. She's real. She's raw. She's love. She is light through and through, but she takes no shit. And she just floats across the world.
I love that you say floats, because I was gonna, when I imagine mine as well. She's
floating.
Her essence is floating.
Exactly.
She may be 2 feet on the ground, but her essence is definitely floating.
Oh, my girl, she doesn't even have feet to touch the ground, honey. She's like, walk on this earth. Honey, I am better than that. I don't need to fucking put my feet on this floor. No, nothing.
It's so interesting to talk to people about what their highest self is, because it's so vastly different. And that's why I was curious if yours has morphed over time as you've done the work.
Yeah.
So what did you do specifically to touch base into what your highest self is, and how do you continue to touch base with her? Like, what are your modalities of, for our wooers who are listening and they're like, highest self, like, how do I find my highest self? Or how do I continue to cultivate more details of my highest self?
Right. Good question. So I think first things first, you need to set aside time to be with yourself, to push yourself away from any of the distractions. I mean, if you feel like you want to listen to a little bit of music so that you can catch a vibe, but the idea is like, can you create a container, create a space for you to just be with you, just with yourself? Meditation, I think, is a very beautiful way to do this work. It's another way of clearing out the noise of the external and really allowing yourself to drop in and be present. Another really important aspect of this work is to sit and think about what really feels right for you. And for a moment, try to throw away any limiting beliefs that you have. So one of my clients, his highest self is a family man. Spends time with his family. You know, money is no object. Is dedicated to himself and his goals. Can travel to and fro to see his family as he'd like. And had more financial abilities, right? And that's just where we started when we first started working together. And in his mind, doing the work that he was doing, he's like, okay, well, I'm not quite sure like how I'm going to be able to get more money so that I can go and do this traveling, so I can spend more time with my family, so that I can continue to be this family man, you know, that I want to be. And that's not the point of, like, your goal is to sit there and think about what your deepest desires are, not figuring out how you're going to get there. Because recognizing what it is that you want, you are in turn calling that in, and your mind starts to begin to turn and think about, okay, well, how can I get this thing? You also create opportunity for you to co-create with the universe to call in. You have to be able to tell the universe what it is that you want first and foremost before that is able to come in to your current reality. And so for him saying, I want to have more financial abundance, and also say what he was going to do with it and sit with how it was going to make him feel to have those things. Well, as luck would have it, he's able to do exactly that now. But it all originated and rooted in that connection to your highest self. So sitting in meditation, completely disregarding how you're going to get wherever it is that you want to go. Just sitting with the notion of who it is that you would love to be. What are the qualities and characteristics that you find redeemable, that you admire, that feel good for you, that you want to grow into? And write that down. You have to write it down. That is your anchor, and that is your guiding force to determine how it is you move forward. Of course, from then you have to take actionable steps to then get to that version of self. But first things first, you have to sit there and figure out, who is it that you want to be?
And this sounds like manifestation to me, where the key to manifesting is actually feeling that. Like, if you want to be that person, you actually need to feel as if you're that person, because when you energetically align with the feeling of being that person, then that is when the things start to align or come in. And so my question for you is, in what ways does our sponsor, House of Rhythm, allow you to embody your highest self?
My gosh, House of Rhythm allows me to embody my highest self in so many ways. There are so many things that I want to do and accomplish, and there is that version of myself that I want to be and become. But as I said before, there are actionable steps that you have to take in order to get to be that person. So if I want to build a sustainable, long-lasting business, that means that I need to be a disciplined person, right? And what are different ways that I can show up for myself that are reconfirming that discipline? That is through showing up for yoga practice, That is through continuing my education through the different educational workshops and opportunities that are hosted there. That is through me showing up as a teacher and as an instructor and continuing to be disciplined in the types of offerings that I'm providing, right?
Connecting with other humans and community.
Exactly. And so with House of Rhythm and their offerings, it creates opportunity for me as a teacher and also as a student to show up in that disciplined way. And that's one thing I appreciate so much about them. It's like they offer the options. It's just a matter of like, are you going to show up for yourself?
Yeah.
For the current self that you are now, and then the self that it is that you're working towards being.
And they offer such a beautiful, welcoming space in order for you to show up no matter where you're at on your journey. If you're just starting out or if you are a seasoned pro, there is something for everybody there.
Absolutely.
And you're completely welcome exactly as you are.
Exactly as you are, exactly where you are, because people are able to see that and understand that because they might be right there with you in the trenches, or they'll have the same goals as you, or they're going to need someone to lean on them for that same level of support that you may need. And it's that community piece is also another great avenue or tool to be utilized to help you along your journey and along your path. You know? Yeah. I know that I am so much closer to my highest self because I have you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for people who are lacking that community and that are looking for others that are of the same mindset or are working towards the same thing, boom.
Yeah. And I do
House of Rhythm.
Yeah. And I do feel like no matter where you show up, but especially at House of Rhythm, if you're going to show up there, the people that show up in the same class, in the same sound bath, whatever it might be, they're there for a reason, and you guys share something together. And so being willing to kind of open the door and talk to the people that are there that's exactly how you and I connected and found each other, because you were willing to be like, do I know you?
Because you had that familiar looking face.
And I was like, no. Who is this woman? No, I was kidding.
And then the rest was history.
Yeah.
Here we are now.
It's a love affair.
And now it's a love affair forever, forever and always. And you know what? That's also crazy, because if you didn't show up for yourself and go out and seek community, I mean, thank God you did.
That's literally what I was like. I need community, and I wanted a yoga class, and I looked up your page and I was like, she looks like a badass yoga teacher. Why not?
And here we are.
Yeah.
Now talking on our podcast.
I know.
Crazy.
Wild behavior.
But that, once again, if we make every single choice from our highest self, you are just going to continue to align to that version no matter what.
And the people that help you become that version.
Exactly. Can you tell me a little bit about your highest self?
I would love to.
Does she have red hair?
She does.
Of course she does.
She has bright red hair. It's big and it's wavy. I kind of feel a little hesitant about sharing too many details.
Yeah, no, I didn't spill the tea about mine.
Yeah. Gosh, her essence is light and very calm, very cool, calm, and collected. Like anybody can come up to her and say or do anything, and her response is always like either, oh, it's okay, baby, or oh no, baby, we can't do that. It's just like always like
Grounded.
Yeah, but she's always like, oh no, baby. Oh, baby, we can do that. Yeah. Like she's so calm.
Not her being a black woman.
Is it coming through that way? Well, so she's just always like very motherly and very nurturing and very cool, calm, and collected, where she is. There's nothing that you're going to be able to throw her way that she is not so sure-footed and trusting in herself that it is either for her and she knows it's for her, or it is not for her and she is completely fine saying that, and it's knowing that her saying no to something that is only taking her higher if that's possible. And that is only allowing her to continue to serve herself and her constituents and the people that need her. and that rely on her better and more clearly, and cutting out so much of the bullshit and just being able to continue on that path. And she has done the work that she knows exactly what her path is, and that it doesn't even need to be like a moment of like, it's like this essence of being so tapped in and so tuned in to the intuition, my intuition, that there is nothing that can stop me from knowing exactly what it is that is right for me in any given moment, in any given second. Mm-hmm. And it's like that. There's nothing covering that up.
Yeah.
And she is definitely like a light being, like, and she attracts people to her, like, just by being in her essence and being in her truth and cultivating that loving, compassionate energy for all. I just want to say all. I don't want to limit it to humans. It's like all animals, all beings, all companies, all cars, like everything that is in my path. Like, I have nothing but pure love and compassion for, and I am so fulfilled in just that. Mm-hmm. Like, I was curious about your money and other external factors that might be going on for you when you tap into your highest self, because that's not there for me. Mm-hmm. And I do feel like when I tap into my highest self in meditations, she is there in her essence. She's always in the same place. Mm-hmm. And I won't name the place. She's always walking down the street, though. I will say that. She's always walking down the sidewalk. Mm-hmm. And people are always coming up to her and asking and stopping her for things, or asking her questions or for help. And she's giving it if capable. But like, I don't know more about her, and I don't know if it's because I don't ever go further with her to know more about her, or if it's because she is solely the essence that I am trying to embody. And I guess kind of like what you said, like the money will be there because I will be able to be supported in operating in that way. Yeah. And, you know, the dreams that I have, whether it be the dream partner or the dream business or the dream home, or the dream location or the dreams in general, are just there. I just have this like knowing that they're all there the way that they're meant to be there. Because also I like have this issue when it comes to sitting down to manifesting, where I'm like afraid of not manifesting properly, where I'm going to request certain things and not have enough detail in it, and so I end up getting these things that maybe are not in my highest interest, my highest self's interest, because I'm also only human. Yeah. Like I actually don't know what's in my best interest when it comes to these details. Right. So it's more just like an embodying of this essence of her. Yeah.
Think of that all. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah. She sounds beautiful, and she is certainly within you. That for a fact I know, and she is absolutely the more time that we spend together, the more that essence continues to radiate. So whatever work it is that you're doing, Henny, is working as far as I'm concerned. But I think that there's a few different ways that you can go about this highest self journey. It's like, for me, whenever I first initially sat with my highest self, it was to connect with myself with intention for the life that I wanted to have. And I think maybe for me, that's why that aspect is so clear, because I recognize that my intention through getting to my highest self is so that I can do the work, so that I can be the person, so that I can have the things, so that I can do the work, that it's all encompassing. And as I work on me, it's like I work on those things simultaneously. And I think when I'm sitting with my highest self, it's with that intention of like, because I can't, it's like I can't let go of I think that maybe I'm just too hell-bent on, and not too hell-bent, but just like my goals drive so much within me.
I think that is a difference between you and me. And I want to embody more of you in that way, because you'll be like, I have so much Pisces energy in me that like I'm a dreamer. Like I will sit here, big picture dream all day long. Like it's a beautiful life in my mind. If that's where the thoughts are, it could be also really ugly. But you are like, okay, bitch, what are you doing to get there though? Like you need to sit down and do your daily like discipline and tasks. Like how do you, if you want this, it's like, what do you want this year? And what can you do each month to get there by the end of that year? I don't do that. Like I've never done that. I have never been like 3-year plan, 1-year plan, 1 month, what to get done. I am like, what do I feel like doing today? Like, oh, Pilates and maybe a little Canva art. Like, and then if I post, I post. And if I get the wild hair up my ass, then I get to fucking post it. And I need more discipline and structure, and the cosmos are definitely calling me to do that if I want to be creating the legacy that I'm trying to create. Like I'm not going to be able to show up in my highest self way without the discipline. And so this is like such a great reminder for me, like get with the discipline.
I think that it also just speaks to just I feel as though a lot of our highest selves can typically come from like wounded areas within that maybe it's like doesn't necessarily sit well for you and for the encompassing you. And for me, you know, like my goals and aspirations and why I have the goals and aspirations that I have surrounding abundance and what I intend on doing with that level of abundance and why that's so important to me. And so with my focus 9 times out of 10 at always achieving those things, it's through my highest self. And I think that that's probably why I feel so like kind of connected into like doing that work. Like what would my highest self do to get there? What would my highest self do? Because I know that the version that I am currently is not the version that has those things yet. And so when I think of like how to get to that thing, it's not how do I get to that thing? It's how do I tap into my highest self so that I can achieve that thing? And I'm always utilizing my highest self to get to the things. It's like my highest self is the path in which I get to whatever the thing is, because my goal is always like my mindset is always towards the goal, and it's through my highest self that I reach that goal.
I like
you know
that.
What I mean?
Yeah, no, and I've never utilized her for that type of work. I utilize her in like almost in like you use it in a navigational way like you're mentioning, but my navigational way is more like
maybe more internal.
Yes, it is very internal. I've never used her for external anything actually. I'm trying to think, like it'll be more like, how should I handle this situation? It's definitely internal work, or like how am I going about this in the wrong way? I like that idea though of like tapping into her to be like, what do you want to do? Like what makes you happy?
Right.
And
it's like a what would Jesus do moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
WWGG
Golden glowing goddess. What would my highest self do? Well, that's the question that I ask myself. It's like, how would my highest self respond to this?
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Like I use it as like a relational internal thing. But now I'm going to start using it, I think, for external.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Because your highest self, she wouldn't be scared about going into a place and be like, I want to offer here. And the highest self wouldn't be like, oh, well, I'll get to it when I get to it. It's like, no, my highest self is like, this is the goal that you have. Okay, well, you need to go on and call those people, or you need to go on and send that email. Even if you're not feeling 100% about the messaging and whatever, like your highest self is just going to do it.
Yeah. You know? Gosh, you're using highest self for 3D.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm using my highest self for my 3D.
I tend to use highest self for 3D internally, but for 5D of like, how do I want to show up in the world today?
Yeah.
Like when I sit to meditate in my morning meditations, I tap into my highest self so that I can show up energetically in the world when I communicate with others.
And I need to do more of that work.
Ooh,
I need to do more of that work for sure, because I literally will let the day go by just constantly thinking about like, okay, what do I need to do for this? What do I need to do for this? But not in like, how can I tap into that energy right here and right now so that I can exist in this, express and show up right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So yin and so
yin
yang.
and so yang. I know. But that's like how I help my clients. Like it's through the higher self.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that is ultimately the goal. I mean, Helene, I heard about highest self before coming with Helene, but she helped me kind of like develop that further. In fact, Helene refers to highest self as God. She's like, yeah, it's kind of interesting because she'll be like, God, universe, highest self, whatever you want to call it. And I'm like, oh,
yeah,
I'm God.
Yeah.
But we are all God experiencing itself in our microcosm. So it's just like, that's how we help ourselves, but it's also how we can help others show up and guiding others into tapping into that energy of like, who is it that you want to embody, and why are you not already embodying that, and how can you maybe embody that essence today, but having, you know, the 3D stuff, like what actions would she be taking
absolutely
right now? And you know what's crazy is, as we're saying this, maybe not crazy, but it's like, full disclosure, guys, for the last couple of episodes, we've been allowing my eldest dog, Ozzy, who, shout out to Ozzy Osbourne. He passed away today. May he rest in peace. And it's who Ozzy is named after. But he's an old man and he lets things just loose. And so if you're hearing a little toot toot, that is surely enough him, not Kayla or I. And we'll just keep that in for
just like,
tribute's sake.
And it's always this little moment of air. It's like,
yeah, you can tell like if he's rearranging his body, something's going to come out for sure.
Oh, yeah. And
my special love. So shout out to him. Yeah, to our Aussies. But what was coming to my mind is, you know, this, I don't want to say theory, but the idea that there's all these dimensions, and the version of ourself that has these things is already out there living it right now. And so the reason why we get certain ideas of things that we want, or certain notions of maybe go this way, not that way, is because it is our highest self leading us and guiding us and being like, I'm already here. I already know that this is the best interest of you. Like I'm already living it. So ding, here's a little idea of it. And so being able to tap into that other dimensional self of our own, and being able to pull that back into the 3D of the dimension we are unfortunately in right now, allows us to rise in the dimensions so that we can be meeting our highest self where they're at.
Absolutely. I think that when it comes to any level of work, when it comes to any level of, if someone's just deeply unsatisfied with their life, they know that they need to make a change, or if they want something that they don't have, I think that the first step in anyone's journey is to connect in with their highest self. I think that if you connect in with your highest self, that is then the pathway that is literally showing you the path.
It's like the
and
reward.
Creating the action steps that you need to take to get there. Yeah. Like if my highest self experiences freedom, like true freedom for her time and her energy, okay, well, what are the choices that I need to make so that I can have that experience, that I can feel that energetically. Or if I am seeking this level of deep, true, grounded happiness and peace within me that I know that my highest self will have or experience, then what are the steps that I need to take in order to get there? What are the things that are currently going on in my life and my reality that I can say no to that take away from that? And that's where like the shadow work comes into play, right? So if you connect in with your highest self, it's quite literally giving you like a manual or an encyclopedia on all the things within you, the limiting beliefs that you may have that might prevent you from getting there. And the more that you knock that shit away, the closer you get to your highest self. So before you know it, it's like, oh my God, I'm living in more of that essence. And I'm seeing my current reality being manifested through that connection to my highest self and through the actions that I took to get there and that co-creation with the universe.
Yeah, I think it's the reward for doing the hard work. Like
Yeah.
we talk about, oh, the highest self, like the healing journey, yay, yippee, light and love. And it's like not that at all. It is, that's your reward for going into the dark depths of shadow work and of yourself and shining a mirror back on yourself and being like, oh man, it's been me, or like, oh man, I do that. And so it's kind of like, you know, when you do some hard work, you're like, I want a little treat, or I want a little like reward for doing this, or I'm going to take myself shopping because I was able to accomplish this, whatever your reward system is. And you do deserve that. It's like, that is your guiding light, and your reward for doing this hard ass work is, I mean, there's so many other rewards that come with it, but like that is, you get to embody that person, that all these things will inevitably be, as a result of, come to you, that you are yearning for, because you have officially done the work to be able to fully embody that person.
It's like if you're wanting a life full that's more peaceful, because I think that there are certain characteristics and qualities that are that most of our highest selves have internally and also externally. And I think that everyone seeks to have more peace in their life. Okay, well, your highest self, I imagine, is a person that holds themselves with such high regard that they wouldn't allow people to treat them a certain kind of way, right? To disrespect them or speak to them in any which way, or to I want to say this, but also like I know that this could lead into a whole nother conversation, but to work in a job that doesn't serve them, or to surround themselves with people that are always going rah, 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 and bringing and stressing you out. Like your highest self wouldn't allow for you to exist in situations or surrounded by people that trigger those things that take away from your peace. Period. And so if you remove yourself from those situations or those people or those places, then innately you're going to have more peace, thus aligning closer to your highest self.
Oh yeah. It's a removal of everything. Yeah. It's the peeling back the layers.
It's the shadow work.
I have one last question for you.
Yeah.
Just because it's the question I have.
Yeah.
Does your highest self have clothes that it wears?
So my highest self that I would see through meditation, no, she's just like just a liquidy, just like golden, just like
light,
morphing, just like body of just like shimmery and light, and just she's a baddie. Yeah, I'll tell you that much.
She's a golden glowing goddess.
She's a fucking baddie. Like, I'm sorry, like I'm just she just is, you know. When I envision my highest self in the 3D, the confines of the 3D reality, she's also a baddie, right? But she's wearing like 100% cotton clothes, right? She's, you know, dressed and adorning herself with jewelry and accessories, and her skin is clear because she's feeding herself with high quality foods and nutrients, right? She's physically fit because she takes care of herself, right? There are other, like the way that you show up in the 3D reality physically also shows the work that it is that you do in the internal. So yeah, I mean, she's wearing all the prettiest clothes and her hair is shiny and healthy and bouncy, and her skin is lovely, and she's got all the jewelry, she's decked out. And some of you might say, Kayla, that sounds a lot like the version of you right now. And to that, I'd say thank you. And you're absolutely right. She is me and I am her, but that version is even better. And so I just, I'm obsessed with her.
Does she have her natural hair?
You know, sometimes she's rocking her fro, but, you know, most of the time she's rocking her braids down to her ass crack, fucking
swinging that hair.
Swinging it. So it really just depends on the season that I'm in, because she does evolve, but her essence and who she is always remains the same. Mm-hmm. It just might be the external that might shift a little bit, that realigns itself based off of what it is that my goals and wishes and dreams are, right? I see my highest self in her 3D reality living the life that it is that she would live as her highest self. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I picture her in her 3D reality, which is typically the version that I connect to.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the one that I saw in meditation.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. What about you? Shaniki?
She's wearing these.
Oh my God.
These fabulous hot pink Crocs I'm obsessed with. Platform Crocs. Okay, but in all realness, maybe she is wearing these, but we haven't gotten that far. These are new to her. She's usually wearing like flowing silk, colored silk.
Yeah, that
like
makes sense.
Kimono or
just draping, just casually lying on the body.
Yeah,
whimsily.
Like colorful silk.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
I could see that.
Yeah. We love her.
Yeah, we do. I love her. I think she's great.
I think you're great.
You're great too.
I think our highest selves love each other too.
I know. Honestly, our highest self definitely brought us together for sure.
100%.
And if you're looking to potentially find your highest self's love partner, then they may be at House of Rhythm.
Go to House of Rhythm, check out the classes, see what vibes with you, see what your highest self calls you to, because maybe somebody is at that place for you, and it might just be your highest self that's there.
And it might just be you. That's the tea right there.
That is a tea, wooers. How does that hit?
Yeah, that's the tea.
Awesome.
I have a cramp in my finger.
As I'm literally trying to high five you. What's going on?
I don't know.
Also, I like your fuck ice bracelet.
Oh, thank you so much.
I just
because
saw that.
Fuck ice. Yeah. If you guys are unsure where we stand, it's that right there. I digress.
Fucked up police.
Okay, we gotta go. Bye.